Alrighty, I just wanted to show off my water cooling system that I'm working on for my 3D printer. Got the V6 Hotends. So this is the shroud I made. It's just 2 cylinders overlapped in slicer, and I threw some cylinder modifiers on it. So you got 1 cylinder on the bottom to make a hole for the throat tube or whatever you call it. You got 2 little water tube inlet and outlets, and then a big hole in the top to let the Hotend sit in there. It's not sanded yet, so it doesn't actually fit. I got to clean up the inside a little bit. But as you can see, there's some grooves on the inside. Those are just a few box modifiers that I had, take out like half the wall. That way there's some grooves the water can flow through around the outside of the Hotend. Then on the Hotend itself, it did take a little bit of modifying. Where those 3 little red dots are, about the size of those red dots, I drilled some holes all the way through, except for through the last baffle I didn't drill through. If you drill through it, it'll probably still be fine, but I saved it because you gotta put some glue on the top, and you gotta put some glue on the bottom, and then you set that down in the shroud, and you put the top over it. Again, that needs some sanding, and yeah, glue it all together. Then you put it on your all together. You put it on your extruder, and you put some, or you can glue it before you put it. But I glued in these tubes with at first I was using silicone glue, but it just wasn't working. It took too long to dry, and it kept leaking. So I eventually ended up using super glue with baking soda, which is why it's all white right there. That's baking soda and glue together. This is the intake valve. I know it's kind of hard to see because it's black and in the shadow. Okay, let's get some more light. But yeah, there's the intake, and then it comes out for the first Hotend, and then goes up to the intake of the second Hotend, out through the outtake. And yeah, this is just medical air hosing for like breathing machines or whatever. It's not even proper water tubing. These little connectors here, they're just little end caps from XT60 connectors for, RC plugs, electric bikes, and other things. So they just happen to fit the tube in it. They fit super tight, so you can loosen them up. But a few of them I drilled out too much, so they're a little too loose. But yeah, got the intake and the outtake for both with one little hose basically, since they're together now. And it goes up to the back. You can't see it because it's around the corner and behind some wires, but the tubing wraps around the motor of the water pump, which is here. It's just it's a windshield wiper water pump, and it pumps the water into the gallon milk jug there, which is reservoir. I don't have a cooler or radiator of any kind. I'm just using the thermal mass of the water, and it works pretty good. I've heated this up to 240C on the 2 Hotends, and the water stays cool to the touch inside the tubes. So it's all pretty janky, but now to show you the jankiest part of it all, when I turn it on, that water pump is so loud. Yeah, it's louder than the whole printer, and like probably all my 3 of my printers combined. And even louder than my TV sometimes. So yeah, it's all pretty janky, but I got a new pump, actually 2 different pumps coming. We're going to choose the quieter one and yeah, make it a lot more quiet. So that's my janky homemade no budget water cooling setup. I just wanted to show it off, maybe give you some ideas that you can use for your own water cooling system or whatever. Anyway, thanks for checking it out.